My name is Theodore Cottingham, and I am starting a school to help people hear from God directly, so that each one becomes a consciousness of a new creation that they create in conjunction with love, or being love. Loved will you be now in ways man's mind has never conjured up? Will you be a new creation of you? Will you create you with a new consciousness? Will you create you with compassion, with a passion for life, laughter, joy, light, peace, pardon me, coming into your leadership of you, your leadership of others maybe, but your leadership where you are not subservient to someone else. I ask you to not be subservient to someone else. I ask you to let your power arise and do not give it to men or to women or to religion or religious circles that will keep you going around and spinning in their mire, their quagmire. I suggest you have a power, and we have been taught to give that power away. We have been taught to make ourselves subservient to the rules of the church or religion or mosque or temples or some kind of social mores. The intelligence of the day, whatever's popular, whatever you can emulate to make you feel accepted. I suggest all that's going away. And the people of God, whatever you call it, people who love truth will seek correction. They will seek it internally, and they will value a decision-making system that they bring forth, that you bring forth, that you learn how to calculate anomalies, or will you be anonymous no more to you? Will you be the power, strength, beauty, grace, compassion, healer of you? Will you be global in your thinking? Are you willing to not sit on your ass all the time? Or just think, or just watch TV, or whatever the streaming services serve you to think about, to spend your time. I suggest to you, this is the time you have time. And lots of things change now. This is the time that God teaches directly, because you let him, you who will, who let her teach, the one, the man-woman, the woman-man, the genderless God that we serve no more. We surrender. Surrender to what? Surrender to be taught by that which you are, that which you were already created with, born with, that you already have a capacity to understand and hear and matriculate in the things of God. God, no matter what you called God, Ralph, Alice, Source, Universe, the label will not defeat the operation of God, of love, of actionation, of actualization. Will the activities that you imbibe in now bring you fruit, bring you life, rejuvenation? The regeneration is now, folks. I suggest it's really past time. And it's a new day. And many things will change in this nation and your nation, no matter what nation you're in. The crumbling of Christianity has begun in big ways. And the controlling controllers that want to constrict and keep people in a pew listening to their message and be powerless and drink from their cup a communion of separation that teaches them about God but never experiencing the power thereof is coming to an end. I can teach about these weights. I can admire what these weights will do for you. I can exalt what these will do for your health, your mentality, your ability, your mobility, to live from a position of strength physically. Oh, we can talk about all the metrics, who does what, how. We can talk about all the intricacies. We can assemble and have meetings. We can write songs about the weights. We can worship the weights. But these won't do anything for you until you become involved in the actionation, the activity, till you're willing to exercise something and put forth some energy, some effort, some time, and you surrender to change your schedule because you make it a priority. You carve time out of your day or your schedule to make a change that benefits you. These are amazing things when you use them. I suggest it's absolutely amazing what you can do, what you can write, and what you can learn from your own writing, your own pen. If you surrender to learn how to ruin a stream of consciousness no more, exalting your ego. If you want to make everything line up with your Bible, your book, your experience, you won't have the correction that brings you into a truth of a higher plane that creates a consciousness that's one with the Almighty, the mastermind. Sue, Ralph, Alice. If you want to know God, God will make God revealed. And the revelation of God will come forth. And the most humbling moment, I suggest to you, is when you begin really to get hold of the fact that you are God. You are God's substance. The substance of God you are. Not the protons, neutrons, and electrons, but the consciousness, the light that powers the neutrons, electrons, protons. And what about gluons and organelles and quarks? Can you imagine God teaching you about molecular structure and what doesn't exist and what does? About energy, the energy that is between my hands as I hold them up or between my ears. What are you willing to understand? What are you willing to activate, to create? Are you willing to come into a school that helps you be you, the real you, the powerful you, the leadership you, where you submit not to leadership who only want to direct you and lead you their way? My desire is for you, to be powerful, to live from a position of strength, love, compassion, community, caring for each other, activating it, hearing internally the teacher that will teach you all things. This is the operation of the new covenant. Read your Bible. There's coming a time when you need not man to teach you, for God will teach you. That is the operation of the new covenant, where God will write on your heart, not your blood pumping muscle, but your mind, your consciousness. How does God write on your consciousness? Will you come into the Holy of Holies and no longer put up a veil? Will you no longer insist that you're separate from God? Will you simply learn to surrender to be what you are? Like a child? Not childishly, but in the simplicity of surrender. This is a new day, and communities are coming forth. Schools are coming forth. Home fellowship groups, home churches, home. Do we need the hierarchy, structure, and authoritarianism of the established order of religion to serve us? Pardon me. I suggest you have ability and authority that you never imagined. I suggest that you have the ability, power, and authority to heal you from your past and to walk out of it. I'm interested in your leadership arising, and that's why I'm standing here. That's why I make these videos. I counter the culture that constrains you to conform to what they want to promulgate, produce, and stamp out on their assembly line. You are unique. There's nobody else like you. No one else has your mind, your experiences, your vocabulary, diction, and grammar, your goal, your sincerity, your callousness. I don't have all the answers. I've walked a hard road, hard many times. I agonized. There is a great cost to knowing God intimately. It's never been preached that I know of. So many want things automatically. They want to hear a message and say they believe, repeat a prayer, go out and live just like they want to live. I offer you the idea for you to come into your power and quit giving it away. You surrender all that you are. All that you are. All that's kept you apart from the majestic grace of the one to walk in the fullness of your power. See, it's inverted. See, there is this aspect of understanding, but more than just understanding the weights of belief system or the weight of experience. It's becoming. And actually, it's just you become the Christ. And the Christ message, I assert, was always to become the Christ. Jesus, what did he preach? A kingdom. A kingdom what? A kingdom that was yours. What else did he preach? Do the things I do. Everything I do, you can do. All the parables, all the miracles, they were about you doing them. And this is what's coming about, and this is what will change this. It's not the legislation of a government agenda. What will change a nation are the hearts of people. The hearts begin to come into compassion for themselves, where you realize the first person to heal is you. The first person to forgive is you. The first person to help is not standing in a food line serving food or anything else, though those things are great, necessary, lovely, and commendable. But let them not supplant the most important. And that's the heart of you. To feel the heart of God pumping your blood, the energy thereof, not the molecules. Where you quit assigning yourself to have evolved from nothing. Where you quit assigning yourself that something else created you, whether you call it God or not, in separation. The majestic glory of God is yours to walk in humility with. This day, on the streets of your city, with your skin color, with your socioeconomic status. That's my message. This is what I was given in thousands of hours that I spent in surrendered solitude. Much of it in Trinity Episcopal in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So many people have been bludgeoned by religion. You know what I mean, a lot of you. I've spoken to people that have come out of all sorts of different denominations. You know, the cost is great to change your belief system. What are you invested in? Your belief system? In being right? In supporting the people that have taught you to be powerless? Worship God, prostrate yourself, say prayers to something somewhere else, try to do the will of someone, something else, and then die. There are so many people on the earth, they espouse the power of what they call God, but they deny the power thereof to be it. One with, one mind, one consciousness, one grace. And that's what's coming about. The mystery of God is finished. The teachers that teach you cannot know God intimately, and that the joy, the most joyous God revels in your ability to come into surrender, to be equal. And that's what we are going to see change nations. And you won't stop it. Nobody will stop it. Religion won't stop it. It's crumbling, no matter what its label. Because the effervescent joy of the believer no longer stands in its way. The zealot crumbles now. Those in humility, the humanitarian, will arise and they will love each other. And it won't be dependent on your skin color or where you were born or what you have. It depends on who you are. And all of us were what we are coming into again, the knowledge of. The fullness of the Godhead bodily. That's you, my friend. So I deliver this statement to you in faith, not damn faith, the way it's taught. Damn it all. It's surrender. Surrender will get you where you want to go. If you want to maximize your potential, your leadership, your capacity to know God intimately, and live forever, do the miracles. You may, but that's not the objective. The objective is not to attract. The objective is not to serve. The objective is to be who you are. The real you. Emasculated no more in an image of suffering and powerlessness. I suggest to you, there will be millions walking out of the church and all sorts of religious orders because they will see the truth, feel it, and become increasingly willing to become it. So it changes everything. This is the message of truth. It's my truth. Is it yours? Can it be? In my thousands of hours and my years of seeking God as a devoted, diligent, desperate for God person to know God, this is what I've been given in thousands of messages that convey over and over the love of God that God will teach you directly. Because when God teaches you directly, it's a process of transformation. It's not the same process of listening to a man or a woman speak or read a book. The process of transformation that I'm talking about comes forth from within. A pure heart, where your motive is pure? Your motive. What's the motive of your heart this day? What do you want? More stuff? To be accepted? To do miracles? Just go to heaven? This, that, or the other? My friend, return to the kingdom that's yours. Return to the consciousness. Return to the Godhead bodily. And give the son, the daughter, a place to lay their head. Will the king come and give you a crown of righteousness, not some gold-plated thing with jewels? Or does that bespeak of a consciousness? Laying the head of the majesty of the creation of all the creators in you? What are you willing to absorb and quit rejecting? Are you willing to seek correction? Will you ask God for correction? The cost? Time. Motive? See, it's not about dollars. It's not about your lineage. It's about who you are now today, rejecting it no more. And you can have fun doing this. You can come into community. You can connect with other people and coordinate projects and do things you never imagined, I suggest. You have power. Quit giving it to the pew and those who want you to sit on the pew and listen to them. I don't seek you to listen to me. I seek you to become one with the majestic, the creator of all creators, and create creation again in your power, love, beauty, majesty, compassion, and healing, where you forgive all of everything. Starting with you first. You love you first. That's the foundation. You heal you. You forgive you. And every time somebody or something internally in your mind accuses you of something wrong, well, consider it. Be correctable. Don't be brittle. Let a flow, a river of living water come through you, your consciousness, to create you again into something which doesn't contain molecules? Or what is your power? Or are you powering the molecule that you think is you? Is this some subset of reality? I've said a lot, and I've asked you to realize the cost, but also realize how much joy you can experience, how much peace can be experienced, because this is the day of the experiential you, the experiential Christ. That was the message all the time. To experience again what you really are. Because you created you and then fell. The fall. You fell into your own creation. Goodness gracious. What are you creating now this time? Will you create through the veil? What will you create? Will you walk in joy? Will you walk in forgiveness? Will you walk in the power of you, the real you, now today? So this is what I'm starting a school for, to facilitate and anoint the people who will anoint themselves with grace and mercy. Be merciful to you. You're the judge of you. No one else is going to judge you at the end of your life. If you die at the end of your life, I suggest the one you meet will know all things of all time, space, and everything that ever was and is. And you will face it face to face, and you will see yours. The real you has the knowledge, power, ability. And what is your availability now? Will you study for 18 months? Will you come to a school that operates completely unlike anything considered orthodox, normal, customary, or accredited? I'm not accredited by man, nor their agency, nor their authority, nor is the school, nor will it ever seek such. This is about the revelation of God being you, the real you, you coming into being it, powerless no more, dependent on dollars no more. Is there another way to operate? Are you willing to learn it? Can you fathom, even begin to understand the love of God, whether you call it God or not? But the something that's within you already that will rejoice evermore at your surrendering to come home. Home. Where's home? The universe, transcendent of the universe, that which you really are, not even needing protons, neutrons, electrons anymore, or them not using you anymore. Or wait a minute, how's all this work? Are you willing to know and understand? Are you willing to learn from the unlimited infinite that is within you already? Will you take time? Will you comb through the words I've been given to facilitate the understanding of releasing yours and no longer choke your words back into your field to be fallow ground? Will you water your field of consciousness? Your field, magnetic field? I love you. And this is what I'm doing with my life. The rest of it, whatever it is, I promote Christ, you being it. I promote a new day, a new age, a new definition of God, a new definition of Christ. And if it's just a theory, if it's just my belief system, it'll come to naught, and you don't need to worry about it. And if there's any value in this, if it's truth that flows through you, to flow your truth through you, for you to become the flow of truth, no matter what your name, then I suggest no one will stop this message. So regardless of what happens to me, you carry forth this message of Christ to be it. Not in a pew, but no longer assigned to singing a hymn about a hymn. Those days are over, my friend. The music of heaven is coming through our ears, our heart, our consciousness to transform us. And we are hearing new words spoken, new ways, with new power. I bow before you all. My name is Theodore. I'm just a simple guy in Eureka Springs, just like this. No pretense. Simple, common guy. I pray for you to heal you. I pray for you to surrender to you your power with. I pray for you to forgive all people and quit being so divisive and brutal against each other. I call for unity. I call for Christ to be known in the crowds of the common people. And all the authorities which create their authority and place themselves between you and God to teach you about God come crumbling down now. The real will be known. The truth lovers will seek correction. They will value it and stream it in truth through their own lips, learning to be wrong, to be right, learning to be vulnerable, starting with training wheels, starting with pen in hand on yellow tablet, searching through a database, becoming willing to stand in front of a little telephone, video recording device, and streaming words that you do not make conform to your belief system, so that what you stream can bring you wisdom from on high, wisdom from another world, wisdom of the divine feminine, wisdom of your power, wisdom of who you are. Please be so kind to you and to each other. This is my message. University of the New Covenant, School of Christ, School of the 21st Century Christ, being you. The School of the 21st Century Christ. Oh, I like that. School of Light, Love, and Peace. Well, I like that too. What do you like? What are you willing to invest in for 18 months? For 6 months? I'm starting a school here in Eureka Springs, March 1st. 10 people maximum in the first class. A school of creativity, a school of community, a school of teaching each other, a school of inverting the paradigm of education that we've had so far. Tuition free. No grades, no test. But there are papers to write and exchange with each other. Will you help each other learn? Will you be the teacher, encourager, creator? Or will you be the basher, thrasher? Will you learn how to teach? You in the process, and others also? Writing courses too, the curriculum thereof? Will you learn engineering, math, physics? Will you learn from movies? Will you let God be God? In you, through you, no longer separate. I've said much. This is my heart. This is me, Theodore. I bless you this day. Come into your power. Surrender not your power to a message any longer that separates you from your grace, glory, and healing power to heal you and others also. Good day. Theodore Cottingham, TheodoreCottingham.com. You can email me at theodoreureka@gmail.com. I will say more in the coming days about more details, explaining the best I can the articulate heart, the open heart. I give you my love, life, and peace. Whatever you find of value, embrace. Become the living Christ in your shoes that looks like you, oh friend. Good day. See you later.